In the last couple of days, I've had a lot of questions from folks about what's being done to assist homeless Tulsans. I want everyone to know that we have a team from Away Home for Tulsa, which is our collective impact organization, a coalition of nonprofits and governmental agencies that assist our homeless community. Away Home for Tulsa is working with county officials and looking at best practices all around the country that we can implement here in Tulsa. And it begun already, even though there are no reported confirmations of anyone in our homeless community having COVID-19. We expect that that's a matter of time. And so we've already started deploying measures to better assist them. Yesterday, I requested that all city authorities, boards, and commissions that had meetings scheduled for this week, please cancel them for this week. And the reasoning for this is that there is currently a bill moving through the state legislature that would give local communities more options for how we conduct public meetings that could potentially make it safer for everyone involved to be able to conduct those meetings safely. And so I believe that is in the state Senate today. And I know the governor's office is monitoring that closely. We want to give them the ability to hopefully get that bill through this week. And if they do, then it will open up a lot of options for us to conduct public meetings that we haven't historically been able to, that would protect the ability for people on those boards and the public to engage in those meetings without running the risk of exposing themselves to the COVID-19 virus. As of yesterday, our remote work protocol for the City of Tulsa government is fully operationalized, and city employees are working from home all across the region at the moment. If they're able to and equipped to do so, we certainly encourage other employers to do the same if they are able to do so. In keeping with that, our household pollutant collection facility is closed for 2 months, and we are not collecting any fees at the green waste disposal facility. Also, people can access at cityoftulsa.org a whole range of different city services that you can access remotely to pay bills, to interact with the municipal court system, things like that, where you don't have to go and interact with anyone in human-to-human contact. I know that Tulsa Public Schools and our other schools in the region made difficult choices yesterday. As a parent of kids who are in schools locally and in TPS, I just want to thank them for making the right call and doing the right thing. I know there are a lot of kids in our community that unfortunately have to rely on the public schools for meals, and we are working with our school districts and the nonprofit community to make sure that there is no discontinuation of access to food for kids that need it in our school districts here in Tulsa. Lastly, I know there's been a lot of discussion about restaurant operations and bar operations. And yesterday morning, I asked that the Tulsa Health Department, the Board of Health, hold an emergency meeting to provide advice on that. I visited this morning with Dr. Dart about the options that are available there. He had time to visit with his legal counsel, and their determination is that under a civil emergency like we are right now, that determination ultimately falls with the mayor. And so I have made it. I've issued an executive order this morning that closes all bars in Tulsa immediately. As of 11:59 p.m., we'll also be restricting restaurants to takeout and drive-through only. We're also closing, as of midnight tonight, movie theaters. Make sure I get all this right. Movie theaters, food courts, coffee shops, anywhere that does not have a takeout or carry-out or drive-through component is to be closed by midnight tonight. This is not a decision that I ever thought I would have to make as a mayor, but what I've seen, and I've been so proud of the business community in Tulsa over the last 48 hours, I've seen several of our leading restaurateurs take this decision on their own and put the safety and well-being of Tulsans ahead of anything else. And I think it's so important that all public accommodations in this community follow their lead, and so we will be doing so. This is a time like we would never have thought we'd get to as a community. We will follow the CDC's guidelines, and that is largely what this decision for me was based on, is the CDC's guideline that you should not have more than 50 people in an area, but as we heard yesterday, the CDC is also saying that restaurant operations should be limited to takeout and drive-through. And so I take very seriously the health and safety of Tulsans at this time when we're trying to encourage social distancing and minimize the ability of this virus to spread in our community, to minimize the impact that it could have on our healthcare system. And based on those CDC guidelines, I think the best way that we can do that is to put this order in place. This is in place indefinitely until we receive guidance from the CDC that it is safe to return to normal operations. At the same time, we want to, as a city government, facilitate the ability of Tulsa restaurants to have carry-out and take-out as easy as possible. And so we're implementing today a program. Any restaurant that has parking spaces in front of their restaurant, they can go to cityoftulsa.org and sign up on that website to reserve those spaces. You can block them off. It makes it easier for people to come to your restaurant, to get takeout and carry out and leave. And so we encourage restaurant owners who want to utilize that option to go to cityoftulsa.org. Also mindful that the SBA and the state government are facilitating, because of the president and the governor's disaster or emergency declarations, have put in place very low interest SBA loans that are available. We strongly encourage people to take advantage of those immediately and to start tracking your costs. You can do that at damage.ok.gov. At the city government, we want to do everything that we can to assist our local businesses with an unprecedented moment in our history, but we also have to take care to be putting the health and safety of Tulsans first and foremost. The last thing I want to talk about are these varying numbers that you hear. I've had a lot of questions about that in the last 24 hours. As many of you will recall, Saturday morning, the CDC guidance was that events should be limited to 250 people or less. By Sunday, it had changed to 50 people or less. A lot of people heard the president yesterday say that you really ought to limit it to 10 people or less. There is no magic number in this. I think the important thing for everyone to understand is that the less people you come in contact with, the better your odds are of not spreading or contracting COVID-19. And so everything that we're doing right now, these extraordinary measures that we are putting in place as a city government, we are doing so to help Tulsans navigate that and minimize their ability or their chance of contracting this virus or spreading it.